What's up, guys? It is the first day that I've had snow in Vermont. It snowed yesterday and warmed up during the day and crunchy. So we're gonna see what we can do with it here. I'm gonna do a big loop, see if I can cut a track, but we might be headed north of here because I got some word that some better snow conditions up that way. So keep you posted, see how today goes. You never know. Gilly and I came back to the truck. We each did a couple mile loop and we didn't find anything big. And we both kind of have an idea in mind that we're gonna head north and try to find some better snow because the stuff we're on is like loud. So
wicked loud.
But we're gonna check a few roads here where we were this morning, and there's this track. We've seen it twice now. It's old, but that right there is a giant buck. If we can find that a little fresher, we might try to figure something out. But we just went north about, I don't know, an hour and a half from where we were this morning driving, and it's about 11 o'clock now. I just got out of the truck. I can see my truck, and got a big rub here from earlier this year and a track that walks right by it. I don't think it's the biggest buck in the world, but it's definitely a buck. So I'm gonna see what happens here. What's that, Gilly? Big one?
Yeah.
Fresh?
Yesterday.
Get on it, buddy.
Alright.
Well, I'd do circles in there too. How far from the truck are you?
Not very far. There's a dome bedded down. I was backtracking here just the direction I wanted to go. And he came down.
Dude, this buck up here is right in here. He's been feeding all over in here, making rubs and scrapes. Alright, just keep me posted, dude. I think we're gonna get one. I'm like excited. So at this point, I knew I was really close to the buck. He had been feeding a lot in the last about 100 yards or so, and he's kind of zigzagging his way up through this knob. So I was going really slow, just grunting, trying to pick the buck out before he saw me. And as I was coming up through, I was going painfully slow. And right around here, I heard a loud stick break right up in front of me, like a big crash. I knew it was him, and I ended up catching a glimpse of him up here in the hardwoods as he kind of circled around me. Now, I didn't see his rack, but I had a clear look at his body, a couple bounds. So, pretty exciting. Got to see him anyway. Well, he fed all over in here. Decent rub right there. He was bedded right there. I came right up over that hill. This is where he was. Alright, game on. Pretty decent sized bed by the looks. I don't know. I didn't get a piece of the rack. I heard him get up. I think. Yeah, he winded me. The wind's coming right up the hill right here. I was coming right up over that knob right there on his track, and I was going slow because he was feeding, but you know, I almost got him actually, because when I was standing there, after I heard him, looks like he ran down off that way and then cut over that way. I was grunting all the way up through this thick stuff, so he probably heard me coming for a ways. But boy, it's sick in here. So I'm just gonna give him a little more time, and hopefully this wind picks up. I might actually get a peek at him. I don't know what he has for antlers yet, so I don't know if I want to shoot him. His track is not phenomenal. I know that, but he keeps walking by big rubs, so something tells me he might be a pretty decent one. So I'm gonna give him a little time. I've already been standing here for probably 10-15. I think I'm just gonna go real nice and easy over to where, actually, you know what, I might cut a little loop up here, maybe, and try to see if I can get a vantage down over onto a flat over there. Maybe I'll catch him down there and see what he's got for headgear. But let's see what happens. Well, I did a loop here around where I thought the buck might hook back. I just hit his tracks. He's headed out into there. There's a ridge line that kind of runs up like this. So I'm going to get off the tracks and walk up the ridge line and watch down over that bank and watch in front of me, because I have a feeling he's going to loop back up around. So let's see what we can do here. Well, I just cut that big loop. I'm back on him. So I'm going to start going on him again. I couldn't cut him off, so we'll see what happens. He's still running up this hill here. He's been running for a long ways. He's going that way. I'm gonna go that way. When I get up on top, I'm gonna go this way. See what happens. Well, the deer just started walking again. He must have got a real nose full of me earlier, because he's gone a long. This is where he stood here and waited for me. So this is a good sign. He should be calm now. He doesn't think I'm behind him. So we'll see what happens here. Well, I've been tracking the one that I have been on, the one I saw, and just crossed over a lot bigger of a buck track. So I'm gonna go on this one a ways. He was just feeding back here. So we'll see where he takes us. This new buck I'm on is feeding all over in here. Definitely old, but it might be this morning, so who knows, I might catch him. He went down there and rubbed a tree, you can see it. Looks like he loops right around. I just got off that track up top, the one I'd been on all morning. Came down, well, got on a bigger track, which I'm kind of still on now, but I'm headed back up for that smaller track, the deer I saw this morning, because this big track looks really old. So at least I know that smaller track is fresh. We'll see. The day's starting to wind down. In a swamp here, all tracked up. I'm not really on any tracks now, just kind of poking around.
So at this point, I was the farthest point away from my truck, probably, 3 miles, 3.5 miles as a crow flies. And the buck that I was tracking all day, he kept on lining out away from me. But there was this spruce swamp that was just absolutely loaded with tracks and deer. I didn't end up seeing any, but it definitely looked like there was some bucks running some does in there. So I just kind of poked around in there until it was almost dark, and then I started hoofing it out of there. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to like and comment, subscribe, all that.